What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Appreciate you tuning in. Today we're going to talk about the difference between Loom campaigns, lead magnet campaigns, and direct pitch campaigns. These are three of the most popular types of email campaign strategies, and I'll just go over my personal experience with each, which one performed the best, which one gets us the best results, which ones we like to use in different situations, which ones we use on behalf of our clients, so on and so forth. So I'll give you the whole rundown. This is going to be a pretty compact, concise video, and then you can let me know your thoughts or leave any other questions you might have in the comments. All right, so let's get right into it. So this is the cold email money printer chart system, blueprint, whatever you want to call it. Still refining the name, and we have a bunch of different verticals. This is pretty much everything you need to make an email campaign work. This is something that I've personally been building just through my own experience, refining, and this is essentially like my blueprint on how to make email campaigns work. And so right now we're in the copy vertical, writing email copy, how to do cold email copywriting. And one of the first things we talk about in writing a successful cold email is defining the type of strategy you're going to use for that campaign, because the cold email is only as good as its strategy, right? Like, what is it? What is its intentions? Are you intending to build trust here? Are you intending to get sky high reply rates? Are you intending to qualify leads and just make the sales cycle as short as possible, or the lead generation cycle as short as possible? What's the strategy here? And different campaign strategies are better than others depending on where you're at. If you're a total beginner, for us, we're a very young agency, and so I'll talk about how that ties into everything in a second. But there are Loom campaigns, there are lead magnet campaigns, and direct pitch campaigns. So Loom campaigns are just sending Looms, in other words, sending videos. If you don't know what a Loom is just a platform that you can use to send videos and screen record yourself, kind of like I'm doing right now. I'm not using Loom for this, but I'm just saying the video that I'm doing right now, you can make with Loom. So this is really good for building trust, because what you can essentially do, and I use Loom campaigns quite frequently, but what you can essentially do is in the call to action of the cold email, you can say, can I send over a 2-minute Loom or a 2-minute video explaining our process further, right? Or explaining how we guarantee you results, or explaining the process, how we guarantee you results, and any other details you might need. It's great to start a conversation, because it's very easy for them to say yes to. It's not a salesy thing. They don't feel like they're being sold to, and it allows them to just get a little bit more information, right? So it's great for building trust, because ideally you're making the Loom with your face in it, kind of like this video, and they can see you. They can put a face to a name, so you're not just a stranger or a scammer, and you can give them the surface level details, especially if you have a really well designed script. Specifically in that script, you have a well designed hook and it's rehearsed. It's kind of like a mini VSL, a mini video sales letter, which goes a really long way if it's done right. Now, my gripe with Loom campaigns, I started out loving them. My best performing campaign ever is a Loom campaign. It did even better than a lead magnet campaign that I've ran, or any lead magnet campaign I've ran in the past. And lead magnet campaigns typically do the best in terms of reply rates, but I have a particular Loom campaign that I've ran that has done the best. A lot of that was due to targeting. Let me be very clear about that. I was targeting smaller boutique firms who I knew needed the help. The thing with Loom campaigns is, just because people say yes to seeing the Loom does not mean that they are going to move forward after that in agreeing to jump on a call with you if that is your intention. So what happened in one particular instance is I got a ton of people saying, yes, send the video. Yes, sure. I want to see the video. Yes, send it over. And I made custom videos, custom Looms for every single person that responded. So it was dozens of them, kind of just like this, but just going over my process, website, how I think it can help. I was scrolling through their website. It was very tight knit, very concise. And I think it was very transparent. And I'd like to think it was convincing. The issue was a lot of them ghosted after that. And I did get a few folks on calls. However, funny enough, from that campaign, I got a bunch of folks on calls who weren't who didn't even ask to see the video. They just responded with their objection or with their whatever comment they had. Like, hey, the call to action was, hey, can I send over a Loom campaign? And they'd be like, hey, we're only interested if X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. Or, hey, we're actually in the market. You know, just a clarifying question: is this helping us get leads or helping us do something else? Right. So they just came with their objection or their clarifying question. Then we jumped on the call. So with that being said, I'm and just being full disclosure here. I'm really focused on ironing out my direct pitch campaigns for that reason, because I find that you know, I spent a lot of time and a lot of reps getting really good at making Loom videos, sending them on time, so on and so forth. But I ran into that issue a lot because I thought that, you know, because this person said, yeah, let me see the video, that they're going to, you know, that it really means that they're serious about things. It doesn't necessarily mean that. And it's great for building trust because, again, they can see that you're a real person. But at the end of the day, anybody who has some kind of remote interest in your offer, they're going to Google you anyway. And so they're going to Google me and they're going to see these videos and they're going to see my LinkedIn and they're going to see, okay, you know, Pablo's a real person, number one. Number two, he does what he says he does. Number three, he's competent, right? So all the information they would have gathered from that Loom, they would have found across the internet very quickly and on my website, my video sales letter. So, you know, it's cool. I like Looms. I might give them another chance, but for right now, I'm focused on ironing out direct pitch campaigns. Loom campaigns are very good for building trust. They work well in terms of getting reply rates. It doesn't always mean that it will convert well into meetings. So that's the leak there. I had a huge leak in that process, right? So I would send Loom. It would kind of look like this if I'm going to draw it out. I'd send Loom and I'd follow up and they wouldn't respond, right? So positive response requesting video. And I sent the Loom, I followed up, I would follow up again, and then I'd follow up again, and there'd be no response. So that's how that would go. Really, it's like, how do we get them on the call, you know? So I might consult a few folks who are a lot better at this than I am, and see what they have to say about it. But as far as it goes, it didn't leave a great taste in my mouth. So this pathway right here is where the leak is. Cool. So that's the Loom campaign. Lead magnet campaigns. So lead magnet campaign is, I'm sure you've heard of lead magnet if you're watching this video, but if you haven't, in the off chance, a lead magnet campaign is in the call to action. Instead of saying, hey, can I send you a 2-minute video or is this worth a chat? You say something to the effect of, can I send over this free thing I made for you? That's a lead magnet. So I've tried this with a free contact sheet or free leads at recently funded startups, for example, and I had a couple people bite. It really depends on the lead magnet. That lead magnet has to be really good. I think, including myself, most people underestimate how good the lead magnet has to be. Because if it's not an 8 out of 10 lead magnet that really solves a person's problem, it's going to be a waste of time. It's going to be a waste of time. So, oftentimes, it's not even worth sending a lead magnet. I will just be totally honest with you. Lead magnets are great for getting high reply rates, for generating high reply rates if your lead magnet is stellar, meaning it completely solves a problem. So you identify some small firm, for example, who, I don't know, is looking to set up their cold email, and you just send them this blueprint. You would send them this blueprint on how to make cold email campaigns work. You'd send them this cold email money printer framework. That would be a decent lead magnet. I would say accompany that with like training videos and step-by-step documents, then we're talking. Then you got something. And I don't got time for all that, to be quite honest with you. We'll see. I'll think about it. I'm going to start leaving lead magnets in the descriptions of these videos, actually. I'll probably start with this cold email money printer as a lead magnet, but we'll see. But it's great for generating high reply rates. Hard to convert meetings to. And let me add this down here. Lead magnet has to be stellar, not just good, stellar. And I'm going to make this purple. And we're going to put the arrow there. Oh boy. There we go. That should be a lot better. Beautiful. Now, ideally, you make a lead magnet that is easy to make or fulfill with AI. I don't know what that is. Don't ask me for ideas. I don't know. If I did, I'd be busy doing that. I don't know. If you can get lead magnets right, and you can tie them in to, this is really important. If you can tie them in, especially in that original message, to a conversation, like having a future meeting with them. So something like, hey, I'd love to send over this thing for you, and perhaps if you really like it, we can get on a call later. Something like that. Not verbatim, that script sucks, but something like that. That's great, because what you don't want is for people to just take your lead magnet and then run, which is kind of what happened to me. Your whole point is just be transparent. You want to get on a call with these guys. Just be honest. Honesty is the best policy in business, bar none. You know, and either they want to meet with you or they don't. Why are you sending stuff to people who, at the end of the day, don't want to meet with you? Like, you're hoping that this lead magnet is going to impress them. That's not the ideal strategy. You should hope that lead magnet solves a problem that they have, right? But at the end of the day, you're still trying to have a conversation with them. So don't duck around who you are or what your intention is. Use a lead magnet as a conversation starter to show what you can do and what is possible. That would be my 2 cents. I don't really do lead magnet campaigns for all the things that I mentioned in this video. Number one being that they're quite difficult to get right. And I just think we can spend most of our time just trying to get them on a meeting, just speaking to people who are interested in getting on a call anyway. And that brings us to campaign strategy number 3, which is the direct pitch campaign. Direct pitch campaigns are just a straight up, is this worth a chat? Are you open to discussing further? You're just directly pitching a conversation or a meeting. And that's all of these are noted in the call to action. They're noted by what you say in the call to action, and some of the script that surrounds it, the email copy that surrounds it. I can't get this straight and it's bothering me. There we go. But primarily in the call to action. This is my I don't know. That's really bothering me. Anyway. So direct pitch campaigns are the best for qualifying people who are serious and people who are not serious. Because at the end of the day, isn't that what we all want? At the end of the day, I can't speak today. At the end of the day, isn't that what we all want? To understand who's serious and who's not. What I would tell myself if I was starting over again is you can't convince someone. This is not a game of convincing. Perhaps you can generate demand and make people realize that they're lacking in something, but there's no convincing that's going to happen, especially not in B2B. Businesses know what they need and want, and if they don't, well, then they don't make any money, which is most businesses. I like direct pitch campaigns because, hey, yeah, they're going to get you the lowest response rate. Yes, they're going to get you the lowest response rate. Even with a decent offer, you're not going to get, if all these 3 campaigns are done well, lead magnet campaigns will get you the most replies, then loom magnet campaigns, and then direct pitch campaigns. I'm okay with a lower response rate, especially with an offer that is more saturated or common, like a lead generation, like a Facebook ads, like anything like that. the response rate is going to be like in the 0.6, 0.8 range. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. If it means the people who I'm talking to are serious about having a conversation. Because what's going to really annoy you, and I'll tell you right now, is flaky people and flaky businesses. And that happens a lot with lead magnet campaigns. It just does. Lead magnet campaigns and loom magnet campaigns, especially like the super small businesses. It's a lot of. There's a reason why they're small. It's very flaky stuff. There are people behind these businesses. Don't forget. That's just if you can remember that there are people behind these businesses, then you'll be a lot better off and things will make a lot more sense. But regardless, I like direct pitch campaigns the best. So now with direct pitch campaigns, your call to actions are really just going to be like, hey, is this worth discussing further? Are you open to learning more? Is this worth a quick chat? Something along those lines. Re-emphasizing the reply rate though, I was pulling my hair out. I thought we had deliverability issues. I stopped sending for about 3 weeks because I removed all our inboxes. I got new ones and everything in between. We didn't have deliverability issues. It was just a very common offer. Performance-based lead generation. Like, it's been seen before. And the thing with cold email and any sort of copywriting is, unless, like, if your thing isn't novel, if what you're offering isn't completely, totally novel, and the recipient can read the thing and categorize it in their head, that's it. Like, you're done. It's straight to the archives or the trash bin, which is fine. It's just the name of the game. But if you're seeing 0.6, 0.65% reply rates and up for lead generation offers, you don't have deliverability issues. You just welcome to the club. just send more emails. It's a lot more of it is about volume. You will be fine. Just hold steady. You'll be fine. All right, guys. So those are the differences between Loom campaigns, lead magnet campaigns, and direct pitch campaigns. Your campaign strategy matters more than what you actually write. Who you're targeting and what you're offering matters more than what you actually write, and your campaign strategy. So that is why all these things tie together. And if you're seeing the response rates or the positive reply rates that aren't really up to your expectations, well, then I hope you understand why, right? So, or it's important to remember why. Excuse me. It's like what campaign strategy are you using, and the conversion strategy and the personalization and the call to action and blah 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 blah, blah. All right. So if you have any questions, I hope that clarified things. But if you have any questions, leave a comment. If you'd like us to set up your cold email infrastructure for you, do an audit for you, or get you leads for your business using cold email, I'll put the link in the description so you can schedule a free consultation with myself. All right, guys. See you guys in the next video. I am out. Peace.